To establish self-discipline, there are a couple of key things that you can implement in your daily life that can improve your efficiency, consistency, and build your character. Let's dive right into it. So what is self-discipline? Self-discipline is the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. There are a couple of principles that we will discuss today. The first one being limits and boundaries, the second being consistency, the third being talking and listening, and the fourth being creating your environment. So we will start with limits and boundaries. So there are different kinds of limits and boundaries that you can set up to protect your discipline and to strengthen your discipline. So we'll start with the first one, emotional boundaries. This has to do with how you feel. When you interact with someone and they give you a negative feeling, or you feel like you're not in control of yourself, set the emotional boundary. This is probably one of the only things that you can control because it comes from within. Set the emotional boundaries so that you can maintain your discipline. The second kind of boundary is time boundaries. So time boundaries have to do with how you handle your time with people and how you handle your work schedule, how you handle recreational time. So setting boundaries in between family and work is very important. Don't let work bleed into family time, and don't let family time bleed into work time, because that chaos is not going to work out. When you have time for recreation, let it only be for recreation, and it will give you a very focused mind and a focused approach whenever you spend time doing the different activities in your life. I've actually made a video about time management where it explains to you how to use time blocking. You can also use the Pomodoro method. Click the link in the bio and you'll be able to watch the video that I made for you, just for you to learn about time management and get some deeper insight about it. The next kind of boundary is the physical boundary. This has to do with how you engage with people. This could cause distractions and it could cause emotional weight and many different kind of issues. It can actually destroy your relationship, it can cause complications, there can be misunderstandings. So setting physical boundaries with people is a strength in your self-discipline, because you will know where you will not cross the line with certain people to maintain healthy discipline within yourself. This will really help to protect your peace, and peace is the bedrock of discipline. Galatians chapter 5 verse 22 to 23 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law." So it's important for you to protect your peace and to harness your self-control. So the next kind of boundary is the mental boundary. You can control your thoughts. You can control the way you think. As a man thinks, so is he. Don't allow negative pressure and negative thoughts to take real estate in your mind. It's very important that you protect this part of you, because your body follows what your mind does. When you're spending time with family, keep your mind with family. When you're spending time at work, stay focused on work. When you're studying, stay focused. Set the mental boundaries to allow yourself to focus within this particular situation that you're in at the moment. Marcus Aurelius in his meditation says, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Not allowing work and external factors to bleed into your family life, or for any of the different parts of your life to bleed over into each other, is the key to consistency, because this will allow you to have a focused approach. And by setting up these boundaries, you're able to create a clear mind, which will help you to remain consistent. When you set up these boundaries, it will help you to create a clear mind of power and peace. It says in the Bible, "God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." When you operate from a place of peace and a sound mind, that's where consistency can thrive and self-discipline can be kept in order. Consistency. The way that you can learn to be consistent is by taking the things that are most important to you and including it in your schedule and making as if it is non-negotiable, so that when you do your daily routines, it's non-negotiable and you're able to achieve this on a daily basis. This will create consistency and will strengthen your self-discipline. So where I learned this is when I was 13 years old. I weighed about 110 kg. I was really overweight. I was only 13 and I weighed 110 kg. Just think about that. So one day, I decided I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live like this, and I don't want to change my life to impress people, but for the sake of my own confidence and the sake of my own well-being. So then I made a decision that I'm going to exercise every single day. As long as I live, I made a decision that I'm going to do that. And I was so determined, and I was so disciplined, because I had one thing in focus. One goal, which is that I want to lose my weight, and I want to live a life with confidence, not held back by anything, not held by any laziness or any guilt of any feeling like I could have lived. So here I am 10 years later, and I'm still working out. I've worked out about 90% of the time since 2013 until 2023. How did I do that? The grit was in my determination. It was non-negotiable. I made it as if it was part of my day. I made it as if it was a non-negotiable. It was like brushing my teeth. It was like eating. It was like getting out of bed. These non-negotiable things, I made working out as important as those things. And that's how I was able to remain consistent. At this point, it's basically part of my nature. I don't even need to teach myself or encourage myself to go to the gym. It's just part of my nature. So the secret in remaining consistent is in those moments when you feel like crying and you feel like giving up, to take a step back and breathe. Take a step back and breathe and realize that you can do it. It's in your control. Feelings are just feelings, and moments go by with feelings. So don't be stopped by your feelings. The secret is in the grit of the determination towards the goal. Be determined. In the moment where you feel like crying, where you feel like giving up, that's the moment where you have to get up and you have to do it. So this is what I have done to remain consistent for about 10 years in my physical activity. And I hope that you can learn something from this and actually apply this. It comes down to the grit of your determination, because you will feel like giving up. But when you are determined and you are disciplined, in the grit of that hard feeling, pushing through it, the discomfort, that is what helps you, and that is what makes you a consistent person. Talking and listening. These are very powerful skills to have once you've mastered them. When it comes to listening, James chapter 1 verse 19 to 20 says, "Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath." So when it comes to listening, keeping your composure, keeping quiet, and listening is the secret to protecting you from the chaos that is happening externally. You will live with greater wisdom instead of lashing out like an uncontrolled person. So disciplining this part of your person will help you to grow in the quality of the person that you are and the character that you have. It's important for you to listen to what other people say, but it's also important for you to listen to what you say. So validate your thoughts and listen to your mind, listen to your soul, and listen to your body. Because you will begin to understand who you are and what your strengths are. When it comes to disciplining yourself, you'll know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. So when you listen to people, they could be telling the truth or they could not be telling the truth. When you talk to yourself, you might be telling the truth or you might not be telling the truth. So there's a fine balance in between what is true and what isn't, and between you and the outside world. So master this and be mindful when you're doing it. So disciplining your mouth will help you grow exponentially in the quality of person and your character. So when it comes to talking, Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat of its fruits." When you speak words out into the world, it has a major impact on yourself and on your surroundings. So here are a couple of ways that you should discipline your speech. Stay away from negative talk. Speak life and abundance. Refrain from having an uncontrolled emotional response, and stay away from critical and condescending speech. I want you to go into the comment section and comment the things that you think are most important when it comes to your speech, things that you should control and discipline yourself in. I want you to understand that it's very important to talk about your feelings to people and to yourself, not just to anyone and everyone, but to a trustworthy person. I know that this can be very uncomfortable at times, but it's very needed. And to take care of your mental health is part of your peace. So validate your thoughts and validate your feelings. So talk about them. Creating your environment. So you need to create an environment of practical order. And where's the best place to start? In your bedroom. So make up your bed, clean up your room, clear your working space, reorganize your computer or cell phone, and do things like do the dishes, do the things you don't want to do to create order in your life. If you can get these small things in order, then you will be able to apply the same principles with larger things when it comes to discipline. Remember to hold yourself to a standard that is reasonable and remain consistent with it. Don't make it too high, don't make it too low. Make it that it's doable and manageable for you. But always keep a clear environment. Keep a clear environment in your mind. Keep a clear physical work environment. And keep a clear and a clean and a warm, welcoming home environment. And this is what can aid your self-discipline, because you have one less thing to worry about. You are capable of building your own self-discipline. You can steer your own boat. I was able to do it. I believe in you, and so should you. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, then you would probably enjoy this video about time management. Go ahead and click on it and enjoy. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, consider subscribing and leave a like. I'll see you next time.